What's going on?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Awesome to be here.
Yeah, man. Glad to have you. I kind of like to give everybody kind of an intro of how I know people, and I really don't know you that well other than we've just crossed paths quite a few times when you're supporting Michael and them barbecuing.
That's right.
And then doing some stuff down in this area. So if you want to get a little bit closer there.
Yeah.
If you want to kind of give everybody kind of, I guess, a summary of what it is you got going on and kind of where you're at and
I can
how you got here.
Yeah, I'm around quite a bit, so you see me here and there, and I attend a lot of things and try to support my friends as much as possible. My name is Craton Cochran. I'm mostly known for owning bikes, etc. My family started that in 1990. My mom, Paula and Jimmy Cochran, started it. I think I was 20 years old, high school sweetheart, got pregnant with the first child, and it was decision-making time. Do I stay playing around in school or do I open up a bike shop of my own? So I did that in 2000, and here we are, 2026. I'm still the bicycle guy, but I've dabbled in politics now the last 4 or 5 years, and so I do a little bit of that too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How long you so let's talk about the bike stuff first. So
Yeah.
how did you when you say bikes, everyone has a different idea when you say a bike. You know,
Yeah.
some people who have nothing to do with bicycles or doing any type of those sporting events just think of I get my kid a bike, and then you have people that are avid riders just casually, and you have people that are mountain bikers, then you have road bike racers, and then you have BMX.
Yep.
What else? What else?
Well, and everything in between.
Yeah.
And so our store is called Bikes Etc. And I tell everybody I specialize in the etc. Because when my dad started in 1990, I was 11 years old at the time. So obviously all my focus was BMX, popping wheelies on bikes, ramping curbs, things like that. That's all I really cared about. As I grew and his business grew, so did my interest and challenges that I wanted to fulfill. I got there for a little while in my early 20s, maybe mid-20s, after BMX had kind of let go of me, as I knew I wasn't going to do it as a living, per se. I started kind of resenting the fact that I was known as the BMX guy, and I really wanted to focus on some of the road biking, the mountain biking. So I hit it really hard in the early 2000s and made my name known around there too. I got in those circles as well. So I've seen everything from BMX all the way through national champion road biking. We've done it. And then even, every couple of cycles we get Ironmen, guys that want to come in and do an Ironman, and some of them do one or two, and some of them stay in it forever.
Yeah.
The majority do one or two.
What are those bikes? What do those type of bikes cost?
Man,
they're expensive, right?
They are. They're really expensive, and it's not getting any better. Prices are definitely going up.
Yeah.
But so I tell people this: you can be competitive in a triathlon bike for around $2,000 to $3,000 if you buy a true triathlon bike. But if you are the best of the best, and every second counts, and your competition has the best of the best, then you're $10,000-$15,000 into a bike.
That's crazy.
No problem at all.
That's crazy.
No problem.
But I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you have those things are just so fine tuned, man. They're just, and they're so light, and just the mechanics there is insane.
And it's not, so people look at it and you're thinking, man, I can buy this bicycle for $10,000, $15,000, $12,000, whatever it is. Or I could buy a motorcycle for the same amount of money. So you obviously, the materials are not there.
Right.
So when you're looking at the triathlon world versus, say, the BMX world, you're paying for research and development. You're paying for those guys that get in the wind tunnels and put the goofy helmets on and all that. You're paying for them to do that. Then you get the finished product, and that's what makes it cost that much money.
I mean, that's a good explanation. I mean, that's pretty much on the head, because, I mean, every second does count in those things.
If you are the top of if you're at the pinnacle of sport, then you have to have, it's not like you couldn't get on any bike and beat up on everybody locally. You could.
Yeah.
And you could probably do that regionally too. But I do work with some athletes that take it beyond a regional level to a national level, and at that point in the game, it's the best of the best.
Yeah.
So.
And what are those brands? Like, I have no idea. Nothing. I don't know anything about those types of
So
bikes.
you still have what I call your big three. Giant is the biggest bicycle manufacturer in the world, and with them comes Specialized and Trek. Then you have sub companies out there too. Now, I say sub companies, I don't mean sub quality. I just mean sub companies as far as name recognition goes, things like that.
Well, what about so what's I guess what's the most popular, still kind of been around forever bike, like for like kids? Like, what is that, that brand?
So when I was growing up, GT Dyno was a really big deal in the 90s, and my dad sold a kabillion of those bikes. Then when I was in the 2000s, Haro was a really big one. Maybe you've heard of Haro because you're probably in that age bracket.
Yeah.
Today, I sell a lot of still a few Haros, some DKs, some other brands that maybe you may not have heard of, but are now prevalent in the BMX world. Now, what's really becoming pretty cool is what I call the big BMX bikes, the ones that have big wheels. So guys like you and I can buy those.
Yeah.
And all the old names are coming back. Hutch, every single one. SE Racing, GT bicycles are going under the name Gary Turner instead of GT now.
Yeah.
So they're all coming back. It's really kind of fun to see, really. So.
Yeah, man, those things are. I just remember playing. Was it Dave Mirror?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like when he was a big deal back in the day.
Well, in his video game, I remember I knew I was done BMXing when I was playing his game, and I thought, well, there's no way in the world anybody, much less myself, and I was a mediocre rider at best, and I thought there's no way anyone will ever do any of these tricks. And then fast forward 10 more years, and double front flips on bicycles are happening, and triple back flips are happening. So the video game world threw me completely away from being an athlete in that world. It was done after that.
Yeah, that's what we played all the time. I never really had a BMX bike. We always had like mountain bikes. We were out in the country, so it really didn't have, didn't have a lot of roads to navigate growing up a bunch. Then do like country roads and stuff. And then the mountain bike thing is cool because like I was telling you this the other day, but like just now we ran a little 5K through the trails up there.
The one north.
Yeah,
Great
is that what's called? The one north.
One north. Yeah.
Yeah, so up there in Blanchard.
Yep.
So we ran a little race. It was, Dan was getting
Dan put it on.
He was getting that stuff together. So
Dan's
we ran.
Awesome.
Yeah, dude, I love that dude. Shout out. So he was getting that together, trying to set up his equipment and stuff. So we ran it just to go support, and then they had BMX out there too. And I just did not realize how fast. And these are like probably novice riders. We're not talking about like pros. Like I did not realize how fast those guys go and how tight those tracks are, and like. You're in the woods, like it's insane.
It is. I was out there yesterday, as a matter of fact, and it's so I would just tell you, so that's a really fast moving trail.
Yeah.
It's pretty wide open, which is great, and it is really good for beginners. But it's really fun for I'd say intermediate to expert. Wouldn't call myself an expert rider, but I can ride a bike pretty well.
Yeah.
I took an e-bike out there yesterday.
Oh, cool.
And man, I may have gone to the dark side. I don't know that I'm ever going back. I had so much fun out there, and a buddy of mine who is a very good bike rider, his name's Caleb Tucker. He runs the BMX track with me at Cargill Park. I was right behind him the whole way, chit-chatting with him, mingling with him, and he was working it, and man, I was barely pedaling. I was having fun.
So y'all have that track open?
What's that? The Cargill Park?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So every Tuesday and Saturday night, that's why a lot of your competitions, I'm here 1 minute, then I'm gone the next.
Yeah.
Because on Saturday, not only do I do the bicycle shop, but every Saturday at Cargill Park, I also run the BMX track out there too.
Okay.
Along with Caleb Tucker. Him and I have been best friends. We met through BMX when we were 7, 8 years old. There was a track over across from the old Hamels on 70th Street.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're old enough to remember that.
Well, I just remember some stuff being out there, so it had to be, yeah.
So that's when I first started. And he was from the Southwood area. I was from Bossier City. We have no reason to be even still, joined together, but we're best friends. We run the track. Maybe we run the track so that we can stay best friends, although sometimes it does turn us into enemies, you know. But I mean, we've turned ourselves inside out there. We've worked in the heat of the 100-degree days and poured it all into that track. Since we took over 9 years ago, We've dumped every penny we've made back into it. We've put in roughly right at $100,000. We have asphalt turns, a surface that doesn't get damaged in the rain. It looks like dirt, and it mainly is dirt, but for the most part, it doesn't wash out for rain. Now, we still, I say we, Caleb does a lot of work out there that people give me a lot of credit for, and I shouldn't take any of it. But we keep it maintained Tuesday and Saturday night. Free shout out for Cargill Park. They do have a Facebook page, and we update everybody on what we're doing every week there. But Tuesday, Saturday night, we're racing every week.
So that's what does that look like? So how many, like, what's the BMX scene look like here?
So a typical Tuesday night, believe it or not, Tuesday is usually better than Saturday. We'll have 30 to 40 families out there.
Okay.
So let's just say you have one racer, which most of the time there's one or two racers. You have one racer, and you'll have a mom, a dad, or a sibling, or even a grandparent. So we have a couple of hundred people out there every Tuesday and Saturday. It's not soccer, it's not baseball, it's not football, and it's never going to be. So we kind of know our place, we know our lane, and we do it very well out there. Even though it's only 30 to 40 people, it's just like the cooking contest. You got to put on a show.
Yeah.
Those kids want to hear their name on the loudspeaker. The parents want to hear their kid's name being said on the loudspeaker. And I don't care if it's 30 kids or if it's 13 kids. We try our hardest to put on the best show possible.
Cool. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I had no idea. So what's that scene look like? So what's the closest track to here?
So we have Cargill Park is right behind the airport.
Right, that one. But then
Monroe has one.
Okay.
DeSoto, Texas, which is right this side of Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
Gretna, Louisiana, which is New Orleans, Louisiana. They have one. So there's three in Louisiana. I tell people all the time that you can do whatever you want with BMX. You can come out to Cargill on a Tuesday and a Saturday. You can come to Cargill on Tuesday. You can go to Monroe on Thursday. Come to Cargill on Saturday. Go to Monroe on Saturday. You can race 4 nights out of the week and within an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
You know. And if you really want, just like anything else, if you really want to go get some good competition every Saturday, drive to DeSoto, Texas, and you'll get it every single Saturday.
Got you.
No matter if you're 10 or 62.
So you're running different heats. Like, how's that work? The different heats based on ages? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, so we call them motos, but heats, same thing. Yeah, we call them motos. And what we do at Cargill Park is it's a total point system. We run 3 rounds, so nobody sits the bench ever. It doesn't matter how new you are or how expert you are. Now you will get age classed and proficiency class. So there's beginner, intermediate, and expert. Mm-hmm. If a kid comes out for the first time, he's 10-year-old, he's beginner. He's more than likely going to be grouped with the 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old range, and they'll all be beginner.
Okay.
And then our intermediates and our experts, they kind of keep them together as well. Now, all 3 rounds means they race once, and then we take a little break. They'll race again, and then take a little break. Then they'll race again. And so at the end of 3 rounds, we add up the tally. You know, if you got first, you got 1 point, second, 2, third, and so on. And whoever has the lowest number of points gets the big trophy.
Okay.
At the end of every night, and making it just as big a show for the 6-year-old novices or even the Strider bikes. And I'm the announcer. That's I shouldn't get all the credit for the dirt work, but I do the announcing, and sometimes that could be kind of challenging.
Yeah.
Is putting on a show for kids that it's taking them 2 or 3 minutes to get around something that takes someone else 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's
you
it's entertaining.
You gotta try to keep it exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, yeah, I had no idea. So. Yeah, we were talking about that because I brought it up to you because I knew we're in that world, and I was like, I didn't realize I was watching those BMX guys in downtown Austin. We were there, my wife and I were there a couple weeks ago.
Yep, 9th Street.
Yeah, you were saying that you used to ride that track.
So that place has been there. I'm 46 years old now, DJ. So gosh, I was probably 15 when I went there the first time, and so it's been there 30 years in the middle of downtown Austin, and it's a destination. If you're a BMXer, you have slept in your car on the streets of Austin, Texas, and rode 9th Street before. And I've done it many times.
Just so happened we were coming around to go park at a different garage. We had went somewhere in the vehicle and coming back to park, and we went up, I guess, 9th Street, and there's an incline there.
Yeah.
I seen this dude pedaling up. I was like, oh, shit, he's about to take off hauling ass down this. And there's cars behind me, so I couldn't stop. But I was trying to watch him. Like I saw him hauling ass, and I saw him like turn in, to hit that. I guess that first ramp.
It's been like that ever since I was 15, 16. You either haul but up the street or down, and you duck off in there. And when you duck off in there, there's 6 foot lip right in front of you.
That's what I was saying. I was like, these people were like, these are serious ramps.
Well, and again, in my teenage days, I could do that.
Yeah.
But when I broke myself off a few times in my early 20s, and I realized quick that, man, I got to be at work every day.
Yeah.
So doing this is not what I'm going to do forever.
So what about these e-bikes, man? Because that's interesting. That's I actually got a dude. Can you pull that up, Josh? I'm trying to think. It's an Evo. Have you seen those? The Evo. It's like an Evo Hunter.
So the hunting bikes. Oh, I love the
e-bikes. It's called a Grunt. Yeah. So I had that right there. That bike.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was gonna bring it up here just so I can pedal around down here or like ride it around down here. But dude, I hadn't had one day where my truck's been empty to load it and bring it down here yet, and so I should have it here in a couple of days. But those things were cool because I just stumbled upon one. But then the e-bike thing, how do those, like, I've never even gotten on one. So I know you pedal them a little bit and then you can just ride. Like,
so there's different, I guess, genres of e-bikes, obviously. Most people are looking to ride around their neighborhood or even our blacktop up and down the Arthur AT. And so you would come in there and you'd want, what I like the best is bikes that look like a regular bike but are actually e-bikes.
Okay.
And so they're getting there. At first, everything was just big and bulky, had fat tires on it. You knew it was an e-bike when you saw it.
Right.
So now they're getting to where the bikes look a little bit more traditional. They're weighing a little bit less. What you have is actually what I call more of a hunting machine. Yeah. For some reason or another, and I know laws have a lot to do with it, but the bicycles have taken over in the hunting world, which is good for me because if you got guys that throw corn on the ground, then their tickets at the bike shop can be a little bit bigger, and they're going to pay for them, right? Yeah. So just for example, I put liners. We put these Tannis liners in these guys' tires. Last thing they want is to walk out of the woods. If they ride 2 or 3 miles in, they don't want to walk out. And so we put these liners in the tires that help prevent flats, things like that. Well, I mean, unfortunately, it's a few $100 just to do that.
Yeah.
But again, these guys, they don't care. They're just trying to, get the biggest deer they can, and this is just part of the process.
A lot of places you can't get in there in a big side-by-side or vehicle or something.
I've often wondered, that thing that you have, I've been wondering for the past 4 seasons, how long is Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki going to keep letting Quiet Cat and Velatric, for my sake, that's what I sell, take the $25,000 to $3,000 customer, like when are they going to make more of a hunting machine that just probably has foot pegs, it's electric?
Yeah, because they have so many products that just don't move like they used to. Like, you're not seeing people buy, I mean, let's face it, man, most people aren't buying a road bike, a road motorcycle that's a Honda or a Kawasaki. They're going to buy an Indian or a Harley, you know what I mean?
That's right.
Unless you're looking for something affordable. But then even those, like the street bikes, the crotch rockets, like we used to ride, like those things aren't as popular as they used to be because, man, just it's a matter of time before you wreck or kill yourself on one,
Yeah.
And then also, like, dirt bikes aren't as prevalent as they used to be either, man.
Nowhere to ride.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Nowhere
so it's
to ride.
like not in this market anyways.
Right.
Because I would love to get back into, I used to race quads, and I would love to get back into that. Not to race, because, I mean, dude, let's face it, bro. You're over 30, you're not really racing anymore. Right. You know what I mean? That's like messing around, riding with the kids, that would be cool, but, like, there's nowhere to ride.
No. And so when I was younger, we had a few places to ride. Buddy Caskey had a track out in Benton. Red K motocross, or his was the Bumblebee.
Red K was Minden?
Red K was Minden.
And then there was a track for a little while in Halton. That didn't last long.
Right.
They shut that shit down.
Yeah,
the neighborhood shut that shit down.
Well, I went out there. I got to ride out there.
I rode out there like twice.
They just the police jury was like, "Hey, man, you gotta do it at this time, and everything will be all right." And they couldn't wait.
No,
they couldn't wait, and it spoiled it somehow. But
and then we would go to, I guess Tyler had a track. I don't know
Tyler
if
still has that Swan MX Park, and I believe it just sold, but it's still out there. I was a member of all those places.
DeSoto too? Did they have one?
Yeah.
Is it still open?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I was out of it by then. But what's his name? Ramsey, something like that. And he's doing a great job. Travis something. Anyway, he's doing a good job out there, and that's, if you're going to ride motocross, that's where you got to go now.
Yeah.
But like you said, the road motorcycles, it's the same thing with the bicycles. if somebody's riding a road bike, they're typically training for a triathlon.
Yeah.
But there's no more road bike. Like it's gone. The cell phone has literally killed the road biker. I mean,
What do you mean?
In a 1 year period, about right before COVID, I know of 4 people that got hit by a car.
Oh, okay. You're saying they've been distracted on the phone riding a bike?
I mean,
holy shit.
You can't ride your bike nowhere. We have a group that leaves out of North Bossier, Russell Taylor and his group.
Up there, Swan Lake, Swan Lake.
But they leave at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning.
I've passed them before.
That's what you have to.
Yeah.
And even still,
you can barely see them though. Still, man, it's
I
hard.
know.
Like,
Even still, you're.
I was literally. I saw them the other morning we were running something. I don't know if I had a trailer. I was going to Minden. It was early morning. It was 5 a.m.
It had to be.
And I was like, dude, luckily I'm awake.
Yes.
Like, because if I'd have been half-assed asleep, or half awake, like I'd just see that little blinking red light,
So I don't own one anymore. Mm-hmm. I don't want to say don't, because if someone comes to my shop, I'll order them anything they want and we'll get it in and service them just fine. Mm-hmm. But I've gotten to where I don't even sell new road bikes. I just sell used ones, and it's very few and far between.
Yeah.
So
they just come to, if they're training for triathlon or something, they come to you.
Like I said, every once in a while, and it's funny because there's a few cats in town. I'm sure you, Billy Weatherall.
Yeah, I love Billy.
About once every 3 or 4 years, he gets a wild hair up his butt, right?
Yeah.
And he'll have 12 people down there at my bike shop who have no business on a bike. Yeah. They look a lot like you, and they want to come get these little lightweight bikes, and they break them in half. And so, when Billy, I'm busy right now, so wait a couple months before you get the triathlon club back, but here in about 6 months, bring them on back.
Yeah.
Every once in a while it gets a resurgence, but the actual road bike, it's done. I mean, I hate it because in the true essence, it's really what cycling is about when you watch the Tour de France. And I, again, when I strayed away from the BMX and the mountain bike for a little while and joined the local road bike team, and I ran the junior development team, and man, we would kick butt everywhere we went. We had a team, and road biking is a team sport.
Okay.
Everything else, triathlon's an individual sport.
Right.
And BMX, individual sport. Mountain biking, riding, individual sport. Road cycling is a team sport. And until you know that and know the nuances of what you're watching at the Tour de France, you really don't know what you're watching. You just think there's a bunch of guys out there racing bikes, but it's actually a team sport. Those guys that are out there in the front doing that, they're the worker bees. It's really the guys in the back sitting, tucked away that are the
saving that last.
That's right.
Yeah.
They're the superstars. They're just hiding those guys. So, I have been fortunate enough being in business 35 years, and my dad, he's been as good of a business partner as you can ask for. Like, I don't learn anything the easy way. Everything is the hard way. I either have to order the wrong part, break the right part, or really screw something up, and then I finally get it. So luckily I've had, my first boss was my dad, and then when we became business partners, he's always let me screw it up to build it up, so to say. So I've done a lot of that.
What's the speed on those like road bikes? Like, what are people racing at? What miles per hour?
So a pro road bike rider can keep that bike around 30 miles an hour.
Keep it. And do they peak certain times? I mean, they get faster than that. Like,
yeah. I mean, that's obviously downhill. They're going to go right. At the Tour de France, they'll hit 50-something miles an hour down those downhills. What's impressive is what the speed they're keeping going up the hills.
Yeah, and what's the average weight of those things? Like a couple pounds?
The bikes at the Tour de France, 11, 12.
So you're sitting on 10 pounds and you're moving it that fast, like, and that's all you have to support you.
Yeah, that's it. And that's why you see most of those guys, they weigh 135
Yeah, you can't be big and do that, man.
No, and that's why a lot of guys, they do. So there's different shapes. Like, you guys do CrossFit, and I'll get CrossFit guys that come in the shop all the time, and they're like, man, I'm in shape. I'm like, yeah, you're in shape, but you need to lose 30 pounds of muscle to be in this kind of shape.
Yeah, it's different. It's just like a runner, man. It's like we're doing High Rocks training right now for this competition coming up. I'm not a runner. I'm not going to be any faster than I am. I would have to shed 20 pounds of muscle to even compete, you know. And I'm not willing to do that. I'll just one off it, have a good time, and then go back to just lifting, you know.
And that's typically what happens in the triathlon world. I'll get the fellas like you. Now there will be There will be your your kind of your unicorn. Like Dan Arnett, I believe he's probably on his third or fourth one.
Yeah.
Most guys typically, this is just the honest truth about the Ironman world. They do it to get the tattoo.
Yeah.
And once they're done with the tattoo, the bike's in my shop for sale.
Yeah,
and
man.
that's okay. There's nothing
I
wrong
would do
with
it, but I'm like horrible at swimming, and I think I would have to take like a year of swimming lessons before I'd even be confident to even try it.
Get you some floaties out there or something.
Dude, we did a competition the year before last. Weatherall was on my team. I think it was the year before last. Anyways, Wad Gods. And dude, it almost killed me just the swimming part. Like I literally almost got rhabdo because I just was just burnt out. Like everything I had, I just wasn't good. I'm just not a good swimmer. You know, when I say, I can swim and tread water in a lake or wherever, you know.
That's right.
But like swimming like that is a whole nother game, man.
That's what.
And then you got to ride, and then you got to run. Like, dude.
Well, and people that come in and ask me about triathlons, I urge them. I say, look, let's get started with the road bike, and let's go see if you'll ride Tuesday and Thursday for 20 miles each, and then Saturday double the effort. And if you can't do that, there's no way you can do an Ironman or a half Ironman.
What's the Ironman distances? Do you know?
On a bike, it's over 100 miles. On the run, it's a full marathon, and then on the swim, it's might as well be a kabillion miles. I can't.
Yeah, I don't even know. That's like not achievable. The fact that anybody does it's insane to me.
If you think about it, and this is what I tell people. I tell people, start out with a road bike, see if you can live the lifestyle, because you're gonna end up with a tattoo, but you may end up with a divorce.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna live out of a laundry bag for the next year of your life. You're gonna stay at the YMCA and swim every morning that they'll let you. Then you're gonna have to run, and that takes time. Then if you're gonna be competitive, you have to ride a bicycle. And if you're ever going to ride a 100-mile ride, it can't be the day you show up.
Yeah.
Or you really are just winging it. You're there for the tattoo and go home. But guys like Dan and a few others in the past that are really trying to better their time, their effort. I mean, he spends a lot more time working on it than anyone knows.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what we talk about. And you work on all these things too, huh? These bikes.
All day, every day.
Yeah. How is that?
At a high level.
How is that? Like, is that the bulk of your business?
Yes. So I tell people when you walk in the bike shop, you go, wow, there's a lot of bikes here. That's so I look like a bike shop.
Yeah.
The magic happens in the back, and I've had a mechanic that's been with me over 25 years now. And I have a part-time guy. I call him Uncle Henry. He comes in, takes care of all the hunting bikes and just miscellaneous stuff that my main mechanic don't really have time for. And then between myself and another front man, Dennis, we kind of take care of the flats or the little knickknacks that don't want to ball up my guy's time.
Yeah.
My important mechanic's time. We'll try to do those little things. And at the busiest time, I'm a week and a half out. Right now, today, if you dropped off a bike today, you'd pick it up tomorrow.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. And what's it look like? What's it look like now? Like, I know Christmas used to probably be the number one seller when it comes to like kids' bikes and stuff.
Yes.
What does that market look like now?
It's horrible, DJ, man. So when we were kids, again, I'm 46. I'm not sure how old you are. How old are you?
36.
36.
Yeah.
Man, bikes were such a big deal. For me.
We all had them. Everybody had a bike.
That was our freedom.
That was your only source of transportation.
I'm out of here, Mom. I'll be back for a sandwich, or when the street lights come on, everybody had a bike. And for the most part, my dad was able to sell your parents a $200 to $250 bike. He would be competitive in a sense that you knew you were getting a good product, but you weren't buying, you weren't getting a bike for $80 from Walmart.
Huffy or whatever they are.
Yeah, you were getting a good bike. And my dad would, no joke, when I first got my license, my job was to ride from my house and pick up layaway bikes and my grandma's house. So 2 different houses, we would have layaway bikes, probably 200-300 bikes on layaway for Christmas. It was everybody's Christmas. In the month of December this year, I'll sell 30 bikes.
What did it used to be? You said 200?
My dad would have 250, 300 on layaway.
Yeah.
That's
not to mention last minute shoppers or whatever.
Guys that just came in and said, I got a shed in my backyard. I want the bike now.
Yeah.
We'd probably sell 400 or 500 bikes. Then when I opened my store in 2000 in Shreveport, I was selling 300-400 bikes every Christmas.
Yeah, it's crazy, and there's a lot of factors to that, right? I guess internet,
we were
the
just
biggest
talking
one,
about it.
the biggest one, right? Because it's like you were saying, but you've seen let's talk about that. I'll let you talk about that. You've seen the business before that, like
Yeah,
before internet.
Like we were speaking of, the internet is relatively young.
Mm-hmm.
And if you wanted a good or a product from a bike shop, you had to go to the bike shop. And it was like that for anything, really. But for me, you would come to the bike shop. I would have the product in hand and sell it to you, pay the light bill, all that kind of stuff. Now, fast forward, how old's the internet? Maybe 20 years old now?
Mainstream.
1998
is when it was like mainstream, I guess.
Okay.
Like available to everyone.
Instead of just looking up music, then we went to, now we could communicate on these platforms. To then COVID hit, and these big manufacturers decided, oh crap, we got to be able to retail our product because no one's open.
Yeah.
So the internet has gone from whatever the internet was born for, to now where it's actually a sales machine.
Yeah.
And we've had to navigate as a brick and mortar. How do we sustain all of that? So I've had to change. I couldn't be the BMX guy any longer.
Yeah.
I had to be the mountain bike guy for a little while. Then I had to be the triathlon and road bike guy. And now I have to do all of it and e-bikes just to survive. So it's the internet has changed the retail business forever. And I hope that it will sustain me long enough. I don't know that any of my kids want to take over the business, but I'm really hoping that the retail world will allow me to live out what I need, the next 15, 20 years maybe.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what retail is going to look like 10, 15
Yeah, I mean,
years
it's interesting because, everything is so, I can get something tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we're spoiled. I use the hell out of it. I'm not going to lie. I do. When it comes to like products for like stuff for business, like I use the hell out of it. I still like to shop local when I can, but if there's something like I need last minute, I'm getting on that thing and it's getting delivered tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm open 10 to 6. So if you work 9 to 5, you have an hour gap to get to me.
Yeah.
In traffic in Bossier Street now, you can't get nowhere. You can go lay in bed when you're done with your day and hit click.
Yeah, it's convenient.
And it's there.
Yeah, it's just fault of anything else. It's just like the horse plow and the tractor. You know what I mean? Just eventually it happens. But the service thing is the biggest thing because you can't get that online. You know what I mean?
Nope.
So that's got to be the driving factor of your business now. I would say.
That is. That's always my indicator. Right now, I can go back there, and the fair just started, so it's dead time anyway. I looked on before I left. There were 3 or 4 tickets on my guy's stack. Would I prefer that number to stay at 10 all the time? Yes, but in the summertime, it's at 30.
Yeah.
So eat when you can, and
it just is what it is.
Now,
Man.
what I have done. And with the pricing the way it is during our dead time this next, really the last 2 weeks and what we got coming up the next couple weeks, is I've started buying in the last 5 years. I've bought used bikes. I'm not too big to pull over on the side of the road and pull one out of the garbage, so I'll store bikes for the whole season, and then come November when it's dead, I got 2 40-foot containers slap full of used bikes. My guys on their dead time, I go through those. Come January 1st. Now, instead of having nothing but 500 plus bikes to sell new, I got anywhere from 50 to 200 to 300, $400 bikes to sell all, for the whole year now.
Yeah.
So.
And those are all, I didn't know, that's a good strategy too. Having those things, because
a lot of times I get them free.
Yeah. Most people they want them out the way.
So I do buy bikes. And they come to the shop, and I give them what I obviously, and I tell people this all the time. I'm not buying your bike to collect your bike.
I'm not giving you collector's price.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm buying your bike to sell your bike and go buy a loaf of bread. And so if we can work out a deal, great. But you wouldn't believe how many times that they say, "Man, I ain't taking them back home. Just we take them out of my truck."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah.
So. What is the name Schwinn? Was that ever even a high quality bike?
So when I started racing BMX, I showed up on a Schwinn. Now, it wasn't a real great bike that I was on, but Schwinn now is not the Schwinn it was when I was a kid. In 95. No, I'm sorry, 2005, because I was 3. It was 2003, 2004. I was 3 or 4 years in business in Shreveport. I had just ordered 150 Schwinns and maybe about 100 GTs. They were underneath the same umbrella. GT and Schwinn were owned by the same parent company, Right Way. Just bought them. They're in my shop. As a matter of fact, I hadn't even paid for them, right? I still owe them money on them at the time. Overnight, Schwinn sells to Pacific Cycle. You could literally walk into Toys R Us and buy the same bike I was selling for $400, $500 at the time for $200.
What'd you do with all?
Man,
you had to lose your ass on them?
Yeah. Luckily for me, and people who come to my shop, they're coming to my shop for a reason. They're coming to buy a bike from us, and thankfully they're coming to buy a bike from me. I was able to navigate through that by offering, hey, I understand that they're selling them for this over there, but I'm going to take care of you 6 months from now, and I'm going to be the guy working on your bike, and so we would mark our bikes. I do the same thing with all these e-bikes now, and really all the manufacturers. I mark our bikes because ever since COVID, now the manufacturers want to be in the retail business. Well, they want me to take care of all the warranty work.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
That's real nice, right? They're going to send you a bike to your front door.
Yeah.
You put it together wrong, which happens.
They call you.
And then you go ride it, mess it up. Well, the first thing they do is tell you, go see Craton at Bikes Etc. He'd love to see you. Yeah. He's open 10 to 6, Monday through Friday. Yeah. And so you come to me, and by my contractual obligation, I still have to take care of the so-called warranty work. But when they threw my contracts out the window during COVID, I threw mine out the window.
Yeah.
If it's somebody I sold something to, I will bend over backwards to help them out. If it's somebody that I instructed to buy it on the internet because I couldn't get it, but hey, I still want you to have this product. That's how much I want you to have it. I will still bend over backwards to help you out. But if it's a product that you just bought from the internet and your grandpa put it together, your uncle put it together with a 12-pack of Bud Light, and now it's ruined, then I'm not warrantying that.
Yeah.
Call who sold it to you.
Yeah.
Well, they told me to call you. And I said, well, and that's where I have a beef with the companies.
Yeah.
You want to be in the retail business? This is what comes with the retail business. If you don't want to be in the retail business, don't even step your foot in it. But COVID changed everything, and now the manufacturers are not only in the retail business, but they're pushing the legwork off on me.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Dang, well, I mean, I can see that happen. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So these e-bikes, how fast are those things going?
So by law, the ones that leave my store should only max out around 28 miles an hour.
That's still pretty fucking
fast.
That's
flying on a bike. Most people that ride an e-bike do not need to go that fast.
Because that one I have that's not pedaled, it's just like a little mini motorcycle. Mm-hmm. It goes 55. Yeah. I haven't even gotten it up that fast, because, I mean, it's technically not street legal, so we're not riding on the street anyways.
That's right. That's right.
But I was looking at some stuff. I was like, I think I could, like in some, I don't know if this state, certain states, I think I could register it as a moped and put blinkers and mirrors on it.
Yeah,
and use it street legal if I wanted to, I think.
There's
like these I see these Facebook groups where people are doing all that stuff,
Yeah, and I've seen one. I can't remember where I was at, but I saw one pull up. And mine, the ones I'm selling right now, they have blinkers on them.
That's cool.
They're coming with blinkers.
Yeah.
Now, I also sell the ones that are meant to go off-road, and they don't come with all that crap because you don't need it.
That's what this one was. Someone had it on Facebook, and I was like, that'd be cool to have.
Yeah.
Just stupidity, me buying something I don't need. It's
they're
cool.
Fun.
But I haven't used it much.
They're fun. I mean, them little e-motorcycles, heck, I don't see them a lot around here, but you can ride them down the middle of the street in the middle of the night at 60 miles an hour, and if you're dressed all in black, no one's going to see you.
Yeah.
I'm not out there doing it, but you could do it.
Yeah. Well, what is that? Oh, and y'all have so you've gathered up a scene where that's another thing that's, I guess, started. Did that start during COVID where people started gathering up, just riding bikes together?
So Bossier Bike Nite, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, but I've seen it in other markets too.
Yeah,
is that something that
I'd say that COVID definitely amped it up.
Yeah.
But what started the whole ride out, that's what they call those, is ride outs, is the big wheel bikes.
Okay.
So again, guys our age right now, 40s, mid 40s, 50s, our dad may or may not have been able to buy us the coolest bike when we were a kid, right? So now we got a little money. We can buy whatever we want. So what the industry found out is if we make them a little bigger and we give these guys the nostalgia of the 80s or early 90s, they'll fork over the money for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so Bossier Bike Nite is a spinoff of Ride Outs. And what really started it was when this whole block was kind of created, they put this bike lane down here.
Yeah, which is great.
And I thought, okay, we got a 1/4-mile bike lane in Bossier City, and no one's ever riding it.
Yeah.
And I would come down here, and so it started as a joke. I was joking with a buddy of mine. I was like, man, we got a bike lane. We should ride it. And he said, why don't you start a bike ride? So the first year, it was really just me coming down here and riding down the front of the Bojacks, and nothing else was there yet.
Yeah.
Riding down a massage parlor, and I'd ride down in front of Bojacks. I'd go make a loop and come back and ride again. Then end up in there with Brian drinking until he sent me home.
Yeah.
And that's what Bossier Bike Nite was. Fast forward now, I've been steady at it. Just consistency's everything. It's the same way with the bike shop, the bike track, or even Bossier Bike Nite, competitive cooking.
Yeah.
Consistency is everything. And do I want to be here every Thursday night? For the most part, yes. Are there things that I miss out on that my 12-year-old daughter or my 17-year-old son that's doing on a Thursday night, or that I really need to be now that I'm with the city doing things? Yes, but I started Bossier Bike Nite, and now it's become this. It's kind of become a monster of its own. If you come down here to the East Bank on Thursday night, you're going to see anywhere from 30 to 40, 50 bikes out here behind El Patio every Thursday.
Yeah, I know. I just randomly didn't really know about it.
Yeah.
And then I rolled up one evening. I mean, I guess I'd seen it, but I didn't know when y'all were doing it. And I rolled up one evening, and there's everyone just rolling out, bro. You had people everywhere.
It's been one of the coolest things I've ever done. I've done a lot of stuff, and the BMX racing is very cool. The road racing was very cool, but this was so organic. It was and it happened. I'll never forget after a Bossier Bike Nite, sitting down here with Brian and Bo drawing out his plans for this place on a napkin. Like that's how long Bossier Bike Nite's been a thing. There wasn't nobody with me. I may have been there. There may have been 3 guys,
Yeah.
and my mom-in-law came because she felt sorry for me. But I remember that's kind of when it all started. And then to see the ride grow every year, and then to see this place grow every year, then the big screen TV, then the stage.
Yeah.
It's been pretty sweet to watch everything grow and how organic it happened. And to be honest with you, it was so organic that I didn't have to put a lot of effort into it other than being here. And if I had to calculate, which I haven't done, but if I just sat down in the back with my numbers, I bet you majority of my customer base right now that comes at Bikes Etc. probably comes from Bossier Bike Nite.
Yeah.
I've reached out to another crowd. This isn't for you to come compete. We're not going fast. Matter of fact, some people have an icy in their hand or an adult beverage when we're riding.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't say that. But anyway, this is for the people that don't have anything else. And for the most, I will venture to say this: there's people that show up to that ride. This is all they do. This is all they have. And they've met friends through it. They go out to eat afterwards. They patron the establishments down here.
Yeah.
It's one of the proudest things that I started, that I really didn't do anything but show up. It's been that cool.
Yeah, it is cool, man. I've seen them doing it in multiple cities for a while now, and it's become something that's it's something, gets some of these people out of the house that may not have any other activity, physical activity,
Yeah.
or people that just want to just hang out,
And if you would have told me 4 years ago, Craton, you're gonna meet up at the East Bank, and 35 to 40 of your best friends in the whole wide world, because that's what they are. I have a lot of best friends, by the way. But your best friends are going to meet up, and you're going to ride through Bossier City. Because don't get me wrong, we ride through Bossier City. We hit every single casino. We hit Chase and Aces. We hit Cumberland Farms. We go down there by the farm area.
How long do y'all ride?
It's 8 miles. It's 8 miles.
But how long does it? Y'all stretch that out a couple hours?
We'll stop over at Maggio's Grocery, let everybody refill. We'll stop at the boardwalk and get pictures of the bridge, and usually that's where everybody for the first time or two likes to take a break.
Yeah.
And then after that, we hit the casinos and we hit back. It takes right at 2 hours. We leave at 7:15 on the dot. We do the same route every single week. So if you show up at 7:30, you'll know where we're going to be.
Got you.
You can catch us. And so, again, that goes back to the consistency. I mean, would it be cool to venture off and do other rides? And look, the first 2 years I did it, and I still get, hey man, you know what you should do? Hey, you know what you should do? And I'm like, you should start a bike ride somewhere else, and you should go do that, and let me just kind of keep doing what I'm doing because it's working. So, but I do appreciate all what I should do.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah. I'm sure you get plenty of it.
Oh, dude, all the time. I get it all the fucking time about everything.
What you should do, like, dude, I built this from the ground up.
You should do this business like this. You should do this barbecue event like this. I'm just like, you should do your podcast like this. I'm like, yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, and look, maybe it may work. I don't know. I'm sure there's a million ways to do the bicycle business, the bike track, Bossier Bike Nite,
whatever.
And look, I think I've told you this before. I make a dozen mistakes on my way to work, and that's, I guess, goes back to my dad being my business partner. I've always been allowed to make the mistakes. If Bossier Bike Nite would have been a failure, I wouldn't be doing it right now. Me and you wouldn't be talking about it. I'd be doing something else on Thursday night. But it wasn't. It wasn't a failure. It's become one of the coolest things in Bossier City now. So now I just sit back and just watch it.
Yeah,
you know,
that's the way to be. Just keep on, keep doing it.
Yeah.
I had to tell you this before I forget about it. We went on a vacation a couple years ago. I always take my wife on like a trip in January. That's when her birthday is, and we went to a friend of ours had a house. I'm trying to think. It's a Perdido Key, but if you come back this way, you get closer to Gulf Shores. I believe that's like a state park, and you can rent bikes.
Yeah,
this is before a lot of places have e-bikes. This is like 3 years ago. Dude, they have these crappy bikes, like they're blue and they're just like one speed. And I was like, yeah, let's ride these things, because we did a run one day and we rode these trails. Well, dude, it goes back in there.
I've been there before.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
It goes
there
way
at the Floribama line, a little bit.
It goes way back in there, and
there's
there's like an RV park and this dude, we must have rode enough to where I was like, we gotta go. This is enough. I'm wore out. But dude, I got down in there and got on those bridges through those bayous.
Yeah.
And the chain kept popping off. I was like, man, if I have to walk all the way back with this damn bike.
Yeah.
But that made me consider getting an e-bike. But if I was going on vacation or something, to have one just to take, because doing stuff like that is fun, and the only way you can get back there is on a bike, or if you're running, and that's a 10-mile run,
We did I teamed up with Billy with CrossFit Gym. We did a 1,000-mile bike ride. We did it 2 years.
Okay.
Life-changing ride. Business changed everything about me and everything that happened in that first ride. But I think it was the second ride. Have you ever met Londo?
Yeah.
You know Londo?
Yeah,
okay, so on this 1,000-mile bike ride, Londo walks to the beat of his own drum, so to say. So it was my job to make sure that these 10 to 20 men and women that left Bossier City, Louisiana 9 days ago get back to Bossier City, Louisiana.
Where else you go?
We left Billy's gym, CrossFit.
Yeah.
And we rode 100 miles a day for 10 days straight.
And where to? Like Texas?
From here to basically Perdido Key and back.
What?
Now, there's a gap between New Orleans.
Billy did this?
Yeah, Billy did it
When
twice.
was this?
Gosh, Billy would remind me. It's had to be 7-8 years ago.
Well, so I started the gym. I started working out with those guys in 2021, I think.
So, yeah, it would have been. 2020,
so, yeah.
So man,
I can believe he did it, but that's insane.
That trip changed everything, because that was right at the end of, God, I hate to even say this, but it was right at the end of the Obama years.
Yeah.
I was going out of business, and Billy approached me to do this 1,000-mile bike ride, and I didn't have the heart to tell him, man, I'm going out of business, Billy. And
why were you going out? Like, was it like just the economy was down?
It was so bad.
Yeah, okay.
It was the economy was so bad, and I had all but wrote it in. I was doing everything. I was taking money from my wife's paycheck, and then going and cashing my paycheck to pay employees, and that's how bad. Man, and as a man, that's demoralizing. It hurts. And so Billy comes to me and he says, hey, we're going to do this 1,000-mile bike ride. And at the time, Billy had done nothing but help me with some athletes, right? I didn't know Billy that well at the time, but he had helped me with athletes. So I really wanted to help him with this. The last thing I needed to do was disappear for 10 days away from my business. I hadn't made no money in the last 10 days.
Yeah.
So I said, Billy, I'll do it with you. And that's where I met Londo. Londo comes in, and Londo, I don't think he'd mind me saying, he just got out of the clink, you know, whatever you want to go. And he was one of the first guys I met. He's like, hey, I'm doing this 1,000-mile bike ride. Billy told me to come and buy a bike from you. And I said, okay. And my wife at the time was standing right there. Anyway, Londo takes off, and she looks at me. She's like, what are you getting yourself into? I said, I have no idea, baby. I don't know what these guys are doing. And anyway, so we get through the week of preparation, and I'm telling Billy the whole time, I'm saying, Billy, there's no way these guys are not going to make it. The body cannot do this. Human body, they'll make it the first day. We're going to have a great time. And you're going to be okay the second day. But guys like Londo, that they physically can't do this. Eventually, your butt's not going to want to sit on a seat.
Yeah.
I said that trip was life-changing. I had seen plenty of people ride hundreds of miles on bikes. I've done it myself plenty of times. But everything that happened on that trip, the fact that I think the first trip we had 7 or 8 of us, and all 7 or 8 of us made it there and back alive. And those guys, Londo rode every mile of the 1,000 miles.
That's crazy.
I think the only one that didn't was Mark Rohde, and I think he hit like 850. But even that, just seeing what I saw on that trip and what we lived through, and then at the end of the trip, Billy tells me thank you. Real life's back to normal. I have to go back to the shop. He gives me a call the next day. He's like, "Hey man, I got you an envelope at the gym. Just go pick it up." And at the time, again, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, what can I do to just make payroll right now? Get to his gym. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a thank you letter. It was a check from Billy on behalf of them and the community, just basically a tip, for my services for the last 10 days. I took that check, and I went and paid. I think I owed the city some taxes or something. Anyway, it was that check and that trip that made me realize that, man, I don't want to mow yards for the rest of my life, and I don't know how to do anything but this. This is who I am. For the last 20 years of my life, this is all I've ever done. And I just had to swallow it. I had to say, I don't care what it is, what obstacle. I don't care who the president is. I don't care what's going on in any political scene, whatever. I have to make this work. And so it didn't like, Jesus showed up and business just went great. But from that ride on, everything just got a little bit better. Everything got a little bit better. And I'll say this right now. The citizens of Bossier City and Shreveport kept Bikes Etc. alive through 2021, 2022, 2023. And now I'm at a high right now. Yeah. But I've been here long enough to know that I can go right down. Yeah. But if it wasn't for that 1,000-mile bike ride, there's a really good chance that I'd be selling insurance right now, or who knows what I'd be doing. But that and the team that I've surrounded myself, a few personal choices that I've made in the last 5 years have really projected me to where I'm at right now. So
I had no idea. I didn't know. That's insane. You wrote it too?
I didn't ride it. My job was to make sure
everybody stayed on the bike.
The first 2 days, Buddy brought a little BMW motorcycle. And, man, I was having a blast. I was cutting up, riding wheelies, following around these guys. And we had a trailer. We had some guys in the back. But it was just us. We were out there in the middle of nowhere. Right. And so I changed that first year. I took 100 bicycle inner tubes with me. When we got to Florida, I had to go buy 20 more.
Dang.
I changed 110 inner tubes. So when they would get done, if they had a flat or anything in the day, I'd jump out of the truck or the motorcycle, whatever I was on, fix them up, get them back going, catch them up back to the group. The whole goal was to keep the group moving. When you got 8 individuals that got to cover 100 miles a day, man, Billy, you got 55 minutes for lunch, and your prayer went 20. So we got to get going. And it was my job to make sure that we were at point B every day. And again, when we left ChristFit Gym, I took it very seriously the women and the men that let their spouses go with us. Because when we left ChristFit Gym, that was all fun. We had a sheriff take us to the Shreveport line. It was Billy's brother-in-law. After that, it was just us. And we were out there on our own, and they had to have me, and I had to know where every single one of them were at every single minute of the day.
Yeah.
And we even come up with a Where's Londo t-shirt for the second one, because I never knew where Londo was. Never. He was never going the right route. And so the second one, we had t-shirts made, Where's Londo? We had a lot of fun with it. And
How many did the second one?
The second one, Billy and Mark made it sound like so much fun. I know
I already knew.
We had 20 something.
Yeah, I already knew.
And so it was good. It was cool, but the stress level for me was even that much more. And then it was impossible for me to say, Billy, I'm too busy right now at the bike shop to help you. Mm-hmm. When just a year ago, I wasn't doing nothing at the bike shop, so I could go help you, even though I probably didn't need to. Mm-hmm. It was hard. I was impossible to tell him I couldn't go for the second trip. But those two trips, it changed my life, changed everything. You know. That's
so crazy. I had no idea that. Yeah, but that's about right. I mean, anytime he's taught me all kinds of dumb crap.
Yeah, and
I'm usually here for it too.
So,
I love it.
And it's funny when they come in the shop and hey, Billy Weatherall sent me here. I'm like, all right, what harebrained idea are you doing?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
And I'm your guy.
Exactly.
And I love it. But it's guys like him, and it's guys that I've surrounded myself with that constantly push, hey, don't go here, go to Craton. They don't, you know, and I tell my employees this, and I tell my customers this. I had one the other day. She says, the wife says, hey, there's some competition in town now. Why should we buy this bike, your brand, over the other brand? And I tell my guys this all the time. Forget about the brands on the bikes. We're not selling that brand. Yeah, it's good that we have good brands, but the brand on the front door is the brand we're selling. Don't worry about any other brand except for the brand on the front door, Bikes Etc. That's the only brand I care about. And that's what I tell my customers. When you're buying something, if it says Specialized on it or Trek was big when Lance Armstrong was around. Well, he's not here no more. So Specialized had their heyday, Giant has theirs. They all have their heyday for whatever reason. The number one brand that we sell and the number one brand that you should buy when looking for investing is the brand that you're buying from. And if you can sell that brand and consistently have people send you to that brand, so, hey, man, we're talking about bikes, go see Craton.
Yeah.
I've been very fortunate for the past 30 years now that Bossier City has embraced me as their son, and I'm the bike guy. So anytime it's ever talked about, I'm usually the first one brought up. You know, so my brand, sell our brand. That's all I'm worried about. You know, the brands, because like you said, you asked me what was cool back in the 80s,
yeah.
What was cool in the 90s. The brands come and go.
Yeah.
The brand that started in 1990 that my dad had to take ridicule, had to take being laughed at, you know, had to basically be told he was crazy to leave the construction business or the air conditioning business, whatever he was doing at the time, to start this. You know, that's the brand I'm selling. That's the only brand I care about. All the name brands, they come and go. The main brand, Bikes Etc. That's what we sell.
Fair enough. Yeah, because you're the guy that's going to do all the research on what's new and what's best and what's working the best and what you can get out of this and all that. And
that's right.
And like you said, they change. We see it all the time with everything. Mm-hmm. Automotive manufacturers, equipment, anything.
Yeah.
You know? It happens. Somebody buys something else and starts outsourcing production, and then next thing you know, it's breaking every time you use it.
That's right.
And it happens. It could be the best brand in the world. You know, as soon as they do that, there it goes.
And we lose a few. We lose a few. And I try my hardest to be the bigger person when I see it come in the door, and I know you chose to take your $350 savings to get this over what I sell.
Yeah.
But now you're here and it's broke. Yeah, I'll take care of you.
Yeah, I'll fix it.
Yeah, we'll take care of it.
Well, how did you get into a segue to politics? Because I know you recently, I know you were in it, but you recently made a change and where you're at now. And
So politics. So my dad has been a police juryman for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
He's actually the longest active police juryman in the state of Louisiana, which has nothing to do with the reason why I got in it whatsoever. So my son got into junior high at Green Acres Middle School, and just like anybody else as a kid that goes to Green Acres Middle School, and even though I went to Green Acres Middle School and was involved in some of them, you see the scuffles that happen across the street. It led me to a phone call to a person that was on the school board, and he was just like, "Hey, Craton, man, it's good to hear from you." I'd known the guy from the past. We went to school together. "Man, it's good to hear from you." Yeah. Man, hey, once it gets over here, we really can't do nothing. Da 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 da. And I didn't like any of the answers I was getting. And I told him, I was like, "Well, I don't like any of those answers." He's like, "Well, why don't you do something about it?" And just hung up the phone with him, didn't think much of it. Then COVID came, and I was going through a phase in my life where I just quit drinking alcohol. I was 40.
What made you do that?
Well, I had an accident, not alcohol related. We were at work. I was moving a big sheet of glass, about 6 foot tall sheet of glass. And I had moved it 60 feet from the inside of the building to the outside of the building and was lifting it above my head. I had about 3 foot under my arms and about 3 foot above me. And I was just going to get it in the dumpster and let it fall, and let it break. And I nicked it. I nicked the bottom corner of it, and the top half of it from where my hands are fell down like a guillotine. It just about took my right arm off. And so we're at the shop. Luckily, this is something I probably would have been doing on a Sunday, a day off. But I was fortunate enough that there was someone out there with me. I knew I had been cut. I didn't know the extent of it. And I just said, "Hey, man, call 911. And he didn't apparently believe me at first until I opened up my arm and blood just squirted everywhere. So I start walking back to the store. Well, my bookkeeper saw it at the time. And he immediately yanks his belt off. He's like, "Sit down," wraps his belt around my arm. I'm losing blood just tremendously fast, right? Bossier Fire Department gets there. They get me in the ambulance. By this time, I'm going in and out. And at this point, I remember thinking to myself, "Man, if you go out, you may not wake up." So I'm just in fight mode, right? I'm not hurting. I don't feel anything. I don't hear nothing. I'm in the back of the ambulance, and I know exactly where we're at going down the road. And I'm thinking to myself, "Man, you just got to stay awake." And I'm just kind of going in and out. Well, anyway, long story short, they get me to the hospital, sew me back up, send me home. There's nothing much they can do for you right then. I got to go get it. Basically cut my bicep in half.
Yeah, so you got to get that all reconstruction.
I got to go get all this done, right? So the next day, one of my drinking buddies, my sister, shows up, and she's got a little 12-pack of beer with her. She said, "Well, you can't go to work. Might as well hang out and drink, And of course, I wasn't feeling that great, but I had drank alcohol from the time I was 16 to 40, every day of my life. And she shows up. I says, "Well, hold on, wait a minute. This doctor's got me on these antibiotics, and I gotta go call the doctor." So I call the doctor, and he tells me, he says, "Craton, you were cut in a joint area of your body, and if that joint gets infected, I just take it at that joint." He said, "So you can do whatever you want to do. You're a grown man. I'm not going to tell you what not to do. But the antibiotics that I've given you are for 21 days and the strongest form of antibiotics that a human body can take. And I would suggest that you do it and do it the best you can." So I told her, I was like, "You got to go." And I was mad about it. I was like, "Man, how am I going to do this? I have drinking every day of my life up until this point." So I just went to bed. I was like, pain pill, go to sleep. Did that for a day or two, and I remember I was a little mad about it at first. And I was just like, "How am I going to do this?" Well, just so happened that my brother-in-law, who was my original drinking buddy, we married sisters later on in life. He had been sober for a year at the time, and for the first time ever in my life, me and him were buddies from 14 to 40. He had something that I wanted. He never had a vehicle I wanted. He never had a bike I wanted. He never had a girl I wanted. He never had nothing I wanted. But he had that year of sobriety, and I wanted it. I was a little jealous of it, and I knew I couldn't do it. So I make it through the first couple of days.
This is before you got hurt.
This is before I got hurt.
So you subconsciously been thinking about that.
I'm already thinking this. Like, I want to sober up.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I'm going to do it because I got Bossier Bike Nite on Thursday. I got a drink down there because Brian sells them pink drinks down there, and they're really good. and then Tuesday night at the bike track, me and the dads like to drink beer in the parking lot. And then, Saturday and then Sunday you got football. You got to drink beer when you you got to drink beer when you watch football. So I had no idea how I was going to do this. Well, I made it that 21 days, whatever it was. And believe me, man, everybody in my life was watching me like a hawk. Just like, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? Well, I decided, I was like, well, I'm never going a month without drinking, so it's only a couple more days. I'm going to go a month without drinking. And I made it there. And then that month turned into 2 months. And then I started rehabbing my arm, and I thought, well, how am I going to get this arm back, go back to drinking, normal life? And at this point, quitting drinking was still just kind of an afterthought. I wasn't going to quit drinking. I was just challenging myself to be done for a little while. So I go up to Planet Fit. Actually, I will go to Billy's first, and they do a CrossFit workout, and Jody was the instructor. I couldn't walk for 3 days later. I was like, I'm not doing that ever again. So I go up to Planet Fitness, and I tell the guy in there, I was like, look, I want a membership, but I'm not giving you my bank information. I hate a $1 cup of coffee costing me $20 in late fees or something. I don't do any of that. Take money out of my account. And he's like, well, we can't really do that. So I plopped the cash on he's like, well, I'll just pay for all your members. You still got to give me this, but it don't come out of your account. Anyway, I did that, and I started going to the gym. I started rehabbing my arm. Knocked off 2 months. And I thought to myself, I was like, well, man, I did it. And this is where it was a God thing for me. It was everything I had heard. Man, you're going to have the shakes. You're not going to be able to sleep. You're going to have withdrawal. There's no way you could drink like you were drinking and then just quit. None of that ever happened. I truly believe when I bled out that day, that I bled out every bit of that, and that the good Lord refurbished all my body with completely new blood. I never missed 1 ounce of sleep. I never had one shake, one jitter. And this is 20-something. I was a professional drinker. Yeah. I'm telling you, I was good at it too. And so I started getting in a little bit better shape. And you see me now, I was 60 pounds heavier than this when this happened. And I'm starting to get in better shape, and I'm starting to realize that, man, I'm having fun. Like, I'm out here partying, and I'm not drinking. So that became addictive. Well, that turned into 6 months. Still everybody watching me. Craton's been in and out of this, he's been in and out of that. And I was a functioning alcoholic. I'm running a business for. Little did I know that I wasn't doing anything right. And I will say that if you're listening to this right now and you're even thinking about it, and somebody has something you don't want, your brother-in-law has something you don't want, and it's sobriety or it's quitting drinking, and you can't make yourself do it, or you don't think you can, I'm telling you now, you can do it. I don't know which camera's looking at me, but you can do it. I did it, and it has been nothing but the best thing for me ever since. And I had to do it because I could never go have a beer with you. I could never do that. Me and you would go down there to Bojack's, we'd have a beer, and you'd go home. You'd live a normal life. You'd go to bed and come back to work the next day. Yeah. I'd go to my garage, and I'd sit there for the next 6 hours and drink 12 more beers. I couldn't turn it off. That's just my personality. Yeah. So 5 years ago, I quit, and I haven't missed it not one time. Bossier Bike Nite's been the biggest party every time I'm there. Cooking competitions, I'm usually the one with the belt woohooing. So if you ever look at me, you don't think I'm the one not drinking. Yeah. And what it was I had for 20-something years of my life just been lying to myself that you have to drink to do this, you have to drink to do that. That's what everyone says I talk to about it. I contemplate it sometimes. I still enjoy it, but I don't do it in excess. There for a while I did. I felt like, but it was never something I had to do. Mm-hmm. Like I never feel like I had to do something. It was just more like I just did this, so I think I want one, kind of thing.
But then sometimes you justify it. But my biggest thing is sometimes I feel guilty about it. I'm like, why am I feeling guilty about something? I'm not. Yeah. It's not hurting anything. But right. I mean, then I look at my Whoop and I'm like, well, my recovery is 20% today. You know, because I had 2 drinks last night. I only had 2. Yeah. It's not like I drank a case. You know.
Right.
So, but man, I don't know.
So segue to the politics is.
Yeah.
I never, because I wasn't spending from 6 to 7 or from 6 to 10 drinking. Now, and I don't watch TV. I hadn't seen a movie since the Titanic. That ruined it for me. So whenever that was, 20-something years, I have not watched a movie since then. I don't watch TV. I had to fill up the gap. So I was the guy at Planet Fitness for 3 or 4 hours, you know, like working out, you know.
Yeah.
I'm working out 45 minutes, but I'm there 3 or 4 hours because I was scared to go anywhere. For the first year, I didn't go anywhere. I just stayed there.
That makes sense, yeah.
I killed my time being somewhere that I couldn't be around drinking. And then I changed my people, places, and things. Like the guys that were coming to Bossier Bike Nite still kept coming, Hudson and those guys. But I started gravitating. Like I would just go wherever they were. I knew they weren't drinking. So are we going to the car races today? Yeah, sure, we're going car racing. So are we going to do barbecue competition? Yeah, sure, we're going to do it. So I would just follow these guys and just stay away from where I was and what I was doing. And that goes back to, I'm on the way home from the gym one night. I had the school board member already kind of throw out there, hey, come help me. And a talk show host on one of the local, or it wasn't local, it was a national radio syndicate, was basically calling young men, and I considered myself a young man at 40 years old, to step up. That it was no longer my dad's turn anymore, that this country needed us. And I'm sure he wasn't talking to me, and maybe he was. Maybe he was talking to 3.5 million people, I don't know. But I heard him loud and clear. And I woke up the next day, and I went to my dad's bike shop, or our bike shop, went to my dad at the bike shop. I said, hey, I think I'm going to go check out the school board. And he said, go do it. You know, just like with anything else, he's like, go fall on your face, you know. And it's nothing. We took the training wheels off a long time ago, Craton. Go for it.
Yeah.
And so challenged myself, so I'm going to go do that. And somehow or another, I ended up with it. And ever since then, it's just been, if there's a challenge that comes my way, if there's something that I haven't done yet, and I can find the time to do it, I'm going to do it. And that's how politics came into it. Now, politics is a game. It's a weird game. It is a game. And I got into the school board, and I was just hunky-dory, moving right along. Never thought of the city council, not day one. Had lunch with a gentleman, sat down for lunch, and I thought we were there to talk about one thing, and he threw me for a loop. And so to say that there's not any recruitment going on or any of that would be a lie, because there was in that case. And I'd like to think that I was somewhat semi-recruited because I had done a good job at the school system. I had a lady that was on the school board, Tammy Smith, told me the very first second I got in there, she said, Craton, this whole world, the politics world, it's all about relationships. It's all about relationships. You can't get nothing done without relationships. Well, I had always gotten along with most everybody in town. I mean, when they come see me at the bike shop, it's usually the best day of their life. You know, it's not like I'm selling them car insurance or something. I'm selling them something fun. So typically when me and you interact at the bike shop, you were leaving a happy camper, right? So my deal is I knew a lot of people. I knew I had good relationships with people, and I wanted to tie the gap. I got tired of being told no, or we can't do this, or you would never get away with Bossier Bike Nite in Bossier City if you did this or that. And I got tired of sitting on this side of the table. So not drinking no more. Want a challenge, need something new. I'm going to go sit on that side of the table, and I'm going to figure out, you know, what happens behind the curtain, so to say. And that intrigued me. Then, of course, it came time for election. And once you're in that cycle, it's a snowball that you can't stop.
Yeah.
Now your name's everywhere, and that's, for me, that was the hardest part. It's easy for me to talk to you man on man and tell you how I feel about things, and I'd like your support. That was easy. what was hard was seeing your name flashed everywhere, or your kids. You know, my son, he's 15, 16 years old. He works down here for Brittany at the chef's table. And, you know, I'm cognitive all the time when I was on the school board is, son, I really want to go to the basketball games and the football games, but if you don't want me there, I won't be there. Yeah. You know, and now that it's city council, it's, you know, hey, I know your dad's name's out there a lot. I know that could be some pressure, but I want you to always know that I'm your dad. And I'm a bike track operator, and I'm a bike shop guy way before I ever became a politician. And that's how I'm going to walk away from this. And so I always try to let the people that have basically surrounded me and supported me my whole life keep me grounded, keep me where I need to be. And that's kind of how it all started. It was the challenge. It was the non-drinking. It was all that culmination. The call to action from Mark Levin on the radio. I'll give him credit. I don't know if you've ever heard him. He's got a little squeaky voice on the radio, but he called me out that night, and I was full in ever since then. And the politics part of it, there's 9 bad phone calls I got to make every day, but that one good one is awesome. You know, that one good one is really good. Yeah. And there's crap like potholes, and there's crap like dogs getting out, and there's all kind of crap that goes into the city. But when you go to the recycle plant, I go there all the time to drop off my cardboard, and you see Willie and the guys working it, and you see how it's really working. And now I get to see on the back end the driving force, and these people show up every single day to work for the city, just like I show up every single day to work for Bikes Etc. And that's where the reward is meeting those people, working with those people. We're here for the constituents. The people elected me, so I have to take their phone calls. I have to answer their emails. But the part that gives me back is working with the police chief, the fire chief, the guys at Public Works, the water department. Man, watching what it takes to run a city is really, really cool. And to get to do it at this side of the table is what I wanted and what I was given. And so I tell people all the time, don't complain about getting fed when you're the one that asked to get to be fed. You know, yeah. I told everybody I was hungry, so here I am. Feed me. You know.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. No, I like it, man. I like it. I mean, it's got a lot going on, man.
Yeah, I do. I got a lot going on, but we were built for this.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm 46 years old. I feel young. I'm in the best shape I've ever been. My head's in the right place. And I will say this. If I had any other wife in the world, Craton Cochran could not do what he does. Between my wife, my employees at the shop, I call them my partners because I hate saying that. I hate the feeling that I'm the boss and they're the employee, because that's not the case. We're teammates. And my best friend that helps me run the bike track, and a few other handful of friends that have been my friends since we were 15, 16 years old. If it wasn't for any of those people and my mom and dad, I would not have succeeded in any of this stuff that I get to do on a weekly basis. And the fact that my wife never calls my phone, again, I love my relationship. We have a beautiful relationship. She don't worry about where I'm at because she knows I'm doing what I want to do, and she knows what I want to do is nothing to interfere with what me and her have going. Yeah. So she does. She gives me the freedom to go and come as I want to, and to be a part of anybody's life I want to be a part of. She's never said, "Hey, no, you can't do that," or "You can't do this," or I'd really prefer you to do this on Saturday versus going and hanging out with your 6-year-old best friend. Shout out to Vivian Murphy. That's my best friend the whole life. She's a little 6-year-old at the bike track. So without Jessica, without the support of my parents, my sisters, my mom before she passed away, and my nucleus of friends that I call my team, I wouldn't do none of this. Couldn't do none of this.
No, I like it, dude. Sounds like you got it figured out. You're getting there.
I'm working on it.
Getting there.
Working on it.
Well, good, man. Well, I had a good time, bro. We'll wrap it there. You got any shout-outs or anything?
Man, again, the team at Bikes Etc., the team at Cargill Park, BMX, my colleagues down at the city. everybody, my family, you guys. I'm big fans of. I'm a big fan of what you guys have going, what Bo and Peanut have going on down here at the East Bank, and that's where I'm at right now. I got friends like Hudson that's performing in these cooking competitions.
Yeah.
Man, I want to see people thrive right now. I have been given so much the last few years of my life, and I feel like I've been blessed in so many ways that now I want to see everyone else's dreams come to fruition right now. So if you're listening in, man, you can do it. Everybody can do it. Just get off your butt and do it.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, man. Thanks. Appreciate it, bro.
Awesome, dude.